So hello and welcome to the first episode of the FG Lab podcast. I am your host, Nathan Farrington.
And I am Nathaniel Gorelick.
And today we're going to talk about the wonderful world of GMOs.
So before we start, we'd like to talk about our first sponsor, Audible, for making this podcast possible, and SoundCloud as well as YouTube for free streaming of this episode.
Yes, thank you.
So our first topic today on GMOs is just what are GMOs and what are they used for?
So GMOs, they're genetically changed or re-engineered organisms. So typically they're used for foods and consumption.
And just to add on to that, about 80% of foods now currently are modified, which just show you the amount of GMO foods that are used today.
So the next topic is what do GMOs do? So GMOs typically they make foods bigger.
As you could predict, these foods being made bigger could be used definitely for agriculture, as bigger foods can be grown and given to the public to eat.
So GMOs are also used to provide resistance to bugs and diseases for certain plants.
And also, a side note on that, pesticides are used in order to kill bugs, but GMOs can be used in order to actually rearrange different genes in these plants to make a resistance to bugs or diseases. That is actually one positive in GMOs, as pesticides doesn't have to be used anymore on these products.
So the biggest question on people's minds are they harmful? There could be multiple answers to that, and it really depends on how you consider your food to be healthy.
Yeah, and I think for some advantages, for sure, there is shorter time needed for a GMO product to be grown. It is also less expensive to grow these products, and it also creates more produce for the general public, as I said before.
Now, some cons could be there are less variety in the gene strands. There's also less quality. There could be certain expressions that people enjoy in their foods that aren't present anymore. There's also the possibility that one disease can wipe out an entire population. For example, the potato famine. And that could equal the death of many people due to starvation.
And also adding on to that, I think there's really no horrible thing for any GMO product. I don't think it's something that that the hype around GMOs that should be actually thought of as actually real. I just think that we should always think about how these foods affect our daily lives, and not to rely on them too much, and just to keep a safe distance and a safe balance between GMO foods and foods that are produced regularly.
And because of the controversial topic of today's episode, we've decided to take a look at public opinion. So we went out and interviewed some students in Biotech 2 to see how they felt about GMO foods.
And also on public opinion, I have observed that there's a general negative affiliation and view of GMOs, even to a point where stores make products like organic products that run counter to GMOs. And so I think stores using this idea of this negative affiliation when really there's no serious issue, I think, of GMOs, kind of allows them for them to use these organic products and sell them for a higher rate just because they have a label on them that might be just more appealing to the general public.
Yeah, so with that being said, let's take a look at how people think of GMO products. Okay, can you define a GMO?
It's a genetically modified organism.
And then, do you actually care whether or not your foods are GMO?
Not really. As long as my food tastes good and it's not really killing my body, which there's no proven fact whether it kills your body or not. But like, it's like whatever. It's not. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Can you define what a GMO is for me?
Yeah, it's a genetically modified organism.
Okay, thank you. Do you actually care whether or not your foods are GMO?
I do not. I could care less.
Okay. And would you pay extra to have food that is not genetically modified, like organic?
No.
Would you, do you care whether or not your food is genetically modified? Like, do you avoid it, or do you, try and get it?
I usually don't mind. Actually, I think my family, we buy, organic food from the grocery store. But if it's, safe, then I won't.
And would you, do you actually care whether or not your food's genetically modified or not?
I don't care. Because people back in the olden days, they ate whatever. And, I'm going to eat whatever and not die, you know?
And would you pay extra for, organic foods?
No. No.
And do you, care whether or not your food's GMO?
I just kind of eat any food. I don't ever actually look if it's GMO or not. As long as it's good, I think it's okay.
And would you pay extra for, an organic food?
I mean, I do already, so, yeah.
Do you actually care whether or not your food's GMO?
Not really. I don't really care.
Would you go out of your way to eat organic instead of GMO?
I would if it wasn't as expensive as it is.
Okay, Cody, so what is a GMO?
A GMO is a genetically modified organism.
So do you care whether or not your food's GMO?
No.
Would you go out of your way to eat GMO or eat organic? Do you have a preference, or do you just eat food?
I just eat food. I wouldn't care one way or another whether it's GMO or non.
So that was very interesting to look at. Many of the views of students may be similar to yours in the audience. So we want to thank you very much for listening to this first episode. And it would be great if you let us know how you felt about GMOs in the comments section below. Do you have anything else to say?
I do not. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you on next channel. Thank you.